What is going on, everybody? Dude, fill the people in, Chris. How are you feeling? What's going on?
Oh,
man?
yeah,
You got your COVID shot and didn't
pretty
sound
great.
too good.
About 5 minutes ago, so I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine about 5 minutes ago. As I was getting out of the shower, I get this notification that's like, the U.S. has suspended the use of Johnson & Johnson vaccines for blood clots. I was like, what?
So to give you a little bit of peace of mind, this is what I heard. I heard that the blood clotting thing has only happened in like
Six
of all the
people?
Johnson & Johnson vaccines, it was like 6 women or
Yeah.
something like that.
Out of
And they
like
were
7
all-
million doses.
Yeah, and they were all already, I think, at a high risk of blood clots because they had recently had children, and they had recently been just gotten off of like long stints on birth control, which I think all of these things kind of increase your risk of blood clotting. So
Well, I am a
should be
woman,
fine, man.
and I just had a child, so
and I just had a child, so I am terrified.
yeah.
No, I think you're going to be good. I got my first shot, but I did the Pfizer, so now I got to go back, which
Yeah.
is a huge pain in the ass. I got to go back and try to get the second one, but
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed
semi-vaccinated.
when they were like, because I kind of like I had a friend put me in like on like a list of names, and I
Right.
had to pretend I was working at a restaurant. Super shady. It was weird. But I also want the vaccine. You know, I didn't want to wait.
Right.
So I show up, and they're like, so do you have reservations? And I was like, yeah. And I like gave them my name, and they're like, I was like, I'm here for the Pfizer, like, and they were like, oh yeah, like we're only doing the Johnson & Johnson. And then eventually, like, they're like, oh, why don't you just give me your name? And I give them my name. They're like, oh yeah, you do have reservations, but it's for the Johnson & Johnson. And I was like, no, because like the one that I didn't
like,
do any research on. So,
right, you're like, well,
so I
hey,
did it.
you know
anyways,
what, man?
but, dude, that thing put me on my
Yeah.
ass. Like,
That's what I've heard.
holy
That's what I've
shit,
heard, dude.
man! I don't want to go through that again. That was awful. That was like 2 days of just like fever.
Yeah.
I was cold but sweating like all day, all fucking day. There is so much laundry.
I've
I don't even
heard.
want to sleep on my bed. I have to do the laundry later today. It's just, it was bad.
It's a mess. You well, I'll tell you, man, you could use the rescue of a hero, just like those in our review of today.
You know what,
Ladies and
though?
gentlemen.
The
What?
thing is I guess I'm just not.
What is going on, everybody? Critic and the Common Man here. Up today, we are going to be jumping in a little bit late, but not too late, to the show Invincible. So if you've not seen the show Invincible, this is a full review, spoilers included. I highly recommend you jump off of this, go watch it, and then come back in. There's only 5 episodes out now, I believe. They dropped the first 3, and then they've been dropping them weekly on Fridays. Of course, you can find the show on Amazon Prime Video. I think it's technically just called Amazon Video or Prime Video. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Video
I
Prime.
don't think it's 3 words. I think it's just 2. But anyway, so it's kind of a strange story, man. I had to get a fertility test done because me and my wife are trying for our first kid. Yep, I know. So I had to go to the urologist for this. It's a
Is
whole
this real? I can't tell.
No, this is not like a lead up to a pun. This is legitimately
I mean,
this
hey,
happened.
that's awesome.
2 things came from this urologist visit. Number 1, he told me that I'm the most fertile person to ever walk in that office. So
You're sure that everything is okay, down there?
You're perfectly healthy. That man has the largest penis I have ever seen. I actually don't even know if he has mumps. Forgot to look. I was distracted by the largest penis I have ever seen.
that's a major plus. Number 2, you can take from that what you will. Number 2, the guy told me, I was wearing like a Captain America shirt. You guys have seen it on the podcast before. And he told me, he's like, oh, are you watching, Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And yeah, no problem. This is all while, he's holding my nuts in his hand, of course. And he's like, oh, there's a new show on Amazon that you should check out if you like that. It's called Invincible. And I'd seen it on there. I think you and I had texted about it or talked about it before. And I didn't jump in to watch it. And he recommended it. And I was like, all right. Enough people have now talked about this show. I've seen enough about it. Let's give it a shot. I'm telling you, dude, 1 episode in, and I was pretty hooked.
Same.
I'm now 5 episodes in, and I can honestly say this is like one of my new favorite shows.
Dude, the
that
way
are
the
out there.
first episode ends, you're just like, what? Because it like there's
Yeah,
not
you're
really
like,
any
wait.
like swearing or adult anything in the first episode. Really, like there's like
Right.
they say hell or damn or whatever, but then that like carnage at the end of the first episode, and I was like, I have to keep
Yeah.
watching.
This show has a dark side.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. And it's, I love how the two plots are going on. There's, again, spoiler warning, guys, but there's the plot of Mark and kind of his life as a teen, figuring out he has powers, his weird love triangle thing, I guess you could call it. That's a great plot. It's interesting. But then there's also the plot of Omni-Man and his, crime, and you have no idea why he did this.
I love his name, by the way, Omni-Man. Like, it suggests that he's everywhere.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I hadn't really thought of it that way. He's omnipresent.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like he's unstoppable because he is everywhere. He is everything. Like it's
There's actually a fair number of kind of creative names. So Rex, I don't know if you got this, but Rex, the like douchey,
I have no idea what his powers are.
Ex-boyfriend of, I don't know. He can like throw these little bombs or something like that. But his name is actually Rex Explosion, like explosion. But his name is Rex Explosion. I looked it up and I was seeing him duplicate. Is pretty funny. Obviously, Robot is just Robot.
I don't understand.
Monster Girl is funny how she's like, I used to be
her
Monster
power
Woman,
is crazy.
but it just got, in that dude,
that's
okay,
dark in its own way.
Anybody who's watched this can probably attest to this, but for kind of like a generic superhero show, for how saturated the market is, the creativity on this is off the charts.
Yep.
Off
the demon,
charts,
what was his
dude.
name?
Darkblood.
Darkblood.
Damien Darkblood.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was
and like
cool.
when he's near you, like you can, like it's cold and you can see your breath. Like, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And the way they banish him back to hell is like, there's a lot to like.
There's
about
like
this
magic
show.
and powers, and it's weird. It's a cool combination of like sci-fi and fantasy. For me, dude, my favorite episode so far was episode 2 when they're fighting I think they were called the Flaxons, the aliens that kept invading. Dude, like that was cool in itself because like they're all fighting and they're getting their asses kicked, and Mark is still trying to learn how to use his powers and not doing well.
Right.
But when his dad goes into the portal at the end of the episode, holy shit, man. And I don't know if you got this, but when he was like talking to them and he's like, I don't think you understand, this world isn't yours to conquer. Also insinuating that it's his to conquer.
It's his to conquer. Nice, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, and then just the music that they use. The music in pretty much the entire series so far has been spot on, but like that specific song that they used was so cool, watching him just destroy this planet.
Dude,
it was
he just
cool.
Decimates a whole alien race.
Yeah.
And at the end, there's like the last 3 trying to save themselves, and he just crushes them with a giant like meteor type
and
thing.
He's like flying, he's creating like windstorms behind him. It was just crazy, man.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
The show is like a mixture of to me, it's like a mixture of The Boys, which is also on Amazon, so another great Amazon show. It's a mixture of The Boys, it's a mixture of I don't know, the Avengers, and then it's a mixture of almost, I don't want to sound douchey even saying this, but it's like almost a mixture of Rick and Morty, maybe, just with like kind of the like dark humor and stuff that's in it. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch. I know that Justin Roiland is a character in this. Like he's a voice in this. Let me see.
From what?
I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but one last thing before we kind of settle into this review of it, man. Let's talk about the cast of this thing.
So
I don't know how many
packed.
of these.
Yeah.
Dude, packed.
Yeah,
packed to the
and
brim.
Stephen Yeun as the Yeun or UN?
I don't know.
I think it's
I don't
Yeun.
know. I'd be lying if I'd just be guessing. If I picked
I'm a
him,
big
but,
Walking Dead fan, and so seeing him as the main character.
Yeah. That's how I know his. I was like, what do I know him from? I don't really watch a bunch of Walking Dead, but I know.
Yeah,
that
he's Glenn in The Walking Dead, but he just got nominated for an Oscar for the movie Minari.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean he's doing a lot of work, and he's an incredible actor, dude. Like honestly, in my opinion, one of the best actors alive today, and just
Damn,
yeah,
high praise for sure.
Yeah, I mean honestly, yeah, and it's really hard. Like I almost said as an Asian American. I am not Asian American. I don't know if you guys knew this. Being Asian American and being an actor, you usually get typecast as only certain types of roles. So like having major roles for an Asian American actor like him is big props to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this show is it is a ride for sure.
So let me read off some of these names, and I wonder if there's any that you didn't pick up on. Most of them are pretty distinguishable, obviously, but a couple of the bigger ones. Zachary Quinto, if you don't know who that is, he plays Spock in all of the new and all the new Star Trek content, and he is Robot.
Yep, I knew that. He's also in American Horror Story, I believe.
I've not watched that.
I
A
haven't
lot of
either,
people
but-
recommend that show.
Yeah.
It was real big for a while, and then it kind of fell off. But a lot of people watched that. But his voice was so recognizable. Like when I heard him playing the robot, I was going, okay, I know him from somewhere, but where? And I had to look it up. Sure enough, he's Spock. Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Did you catch Mark
Yep.
Hamill being in this?
Yep.
As Art, kind of the Edna Mode of the Invincible
Yeah.
world. Seth Rogen was
he was that alien guy.
Alan. Yeah, the alien kind of guy that he finds. I feel like he's going to come back into
Yes, I'm sure he is.
Seth Rogen's too big of a character, too big of a voice, too distinguishable,
Well,
too
and
unique of a
they
voice for
hinted
him
this,
to only
like-
be in that one bit.
They hinted this like larger civilization of like aliens that are like protectors and stuff. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's coming back too.
I liked his character. I really hope that he does come back. He gave me almost like Lilo and Stitch vibes, like something out of that movie.
Yeah.
He kind of gave me with the
Yeah.
one eye and
The
just the way he
alien-
was talking.
That is exactly the vibes I'm getting from the show. Like the aliens, it's like normal, just buddy, chummy aliens. They're just like a thing. Like,
Right.
and then occasionally there's like the evil ones.
Yeah, exactly. Jillian Jacobs, Walton Goggins, J.K. Simmons, of course,
Yep.
as Omni-Man. Who else? A lot of people, man. Jason Mantzoukas, you'd probably know his face, even if you don't know the name. And then Mae Whitman, who I believe is in Zombieland. I think she's the younger sister in Zombieland.
Wow.
I think. Maybe wrong on that. It's been a little while since... I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. That actually I don't think is her. I don't think that's what she's from.
Retract the
I mean,
statement.
just
Retract the statement.
packed.
Yeah.
Retracted. Just packed cast.
I mean, yeah, it's and for obvious reasons, like this show, I could see this show going for a while just because of how
I think so, too.
well. I mean, dude, it's the creators of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing when it comes to writing the stories that are set in a weird way, in a weird world, but also still remain human. And yeah, it's pretty cool watching everything sort of unfold and
This TV show is kind of hurting me a little bit because it's kind of rebuting two of my major theories as to why I usually have qualms with content. One of which, if you're kind of an OG Critic and the Common Man fan, you'll have heard us talk about this before. But one of my theories as to why a lot of newer content is not that good is too many characters, too funny. So there's always too many people, and they always try to make something too
TMCTF.
funny. Yeah, exactly. TMC. TF. Yeah, right. Brain. But the problem is this has a ridiculous amount of characters, and there's comedy in this. But I think the difference is there's not too much comedy. But as far as the too many characters, they're getting away with it.
They are,
I
yeah.
like all of the characters that they have in this. Maybe it's the type of content where they're all unique enough and they're all kind of superheroes. They all have their own cool powers, which is another thing we need to talk about, the fact that they don't phone in anybody's powers. Every
Yeah.
character, every villain is unique in their own way. They don't feel like they're just kind of wash and repeating the same powers over and over again. The other qualm that I had with this stuff is that there's just too much generic superhero content out there right now.
that was my
And yet-
fear going into the show, that I was like, it's just more
Right.
superhero stuff. Hey,
And the plot of this, I don't know. I mean, is the plot of this that different? It's not that dissimilar from The Boys in a sense. It's just that there's only one kind of double-edged.
very much a
Well, actually,
Homelander
there's a
kind
few.
of bad guy.
Yes. Yes. Very much a Homelander kind of bad guy, kind of sociopathic, double life type character for sure. And yet somehow, even though there's a million superhero things out there right now, and even though there's a million characters in this, it's like one of my favorite shows out there right now.
It feels like Spider-Man in a darker world, because you have the main superheroes kind of quirky and witty, kind of trying
Right.
to find himself while trying to be normal, but then on top of that you have just so much death and darkness. And I think
Right.
having the flip side of like having there being like demons and stuff like that, it really opens it up for like a wider world that we don't really understand yet. And I think that's
I think
intriguing.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely. And I think that there's kind of a formula that I seem to fall into, obviously, with the Spider-Verse here. It's kind of the same story. It's like the younger kid
Yeah.
who generally doesn't really know that he's got powers or something, and then kind of falls into that. That's a pretty generic story, but I do think that formula works for me. I generally tend to like content like that. I really do. I will say, and this is kind of a bold statement, this is the piece of content out there right now that I am most looking forward to dropping every single week.
Me too.
Between Falcon and the Winter Soldier, between whatever shows are on Netflix right now, between the movies that are coming out, I can honestly say that right now, come Friday, the first thing that I'm going to sit down to watch is going to be the next episode of Invincible.
Same.
It's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be. This is just, they're just killing it right now, man. Is there anything about this show so far that you really don't like? Some things that are kind of turning you off to it?
The only thing, and I think it's just a stylistic choice, is that the costumes for the superheroes feel very much like I almost said like DC superheroes, but I'm not going to be that dick.
No, I'm glad you're saying this though, because I think I have a similar
like I don't know, they just like, again, and it just goes back to Marvel just making the costumes in their movies look and feel realistic as opposed to comic book spandex kind of feel. Marvel just did such a good job with their character designs that I just kind of expect more from costume design. And this show kind of falls into that, like, you know, like what are they wearing kind of thing. But I like Invincible's costume. It's cool because I like the black, and I don't know, like I guess it pulls me out of it a little bit when I see some of the costumes, but I'm willing to look past it.
No, I'm actually, dude, he loves you, man. That is pure love. That's just affection. If you're just listening in right now, Chris is once again being mauled with love by his gigantic puppy. How old is he now, by the way?
He is almost a year.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll be a year, I think, in May.
Well, you know what they say, dogs are useless until they turn 2.
Yep.
And then there's like a positive correlation between like a dog and your like blood pressure being lowered. There's actual studies out there, like until a dog hits about 2 years old, there's generally like a negative correlation between like having a dog or having a dog makes your there's a positive correlation, I guess. There's having a dog makes your blood pressure go up when they're really young.
Is this talk from your degrees?
Then once they
I feel like this
is... Once they get to 2, there's generally a correlation between having a dog and lower blood pressure and anxiety. Anyway, I agree with what you said. The look of some of the characters is kind of dumb. Now, I'm not going to make the Marvel comparison here because I'm enjoying that this is very comic booky because it's animated.
It is.
I think when it's animated, you can...
that lends itself to it, that it's animated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's more fun, I think, because it's animated. You can get away with some more stuff. I don't have a problem with the fact that everyone's comic booky. I do have a problem with the fact that I think it's maybe the color choices that they do. Some of the characters look kind of stupid to me. Like that robot being like just purely rust color, I think is kind of underwhelming. It's like sort of, he just doesn't look appealing. And this is just a personal thing, but I've never been like,
he doesn't look
yellow
appealing,
and orange.
I don't want to fuck that robot. Yeah.
Right. Like there's a lot, like Anthony Mackie in Beyond the Wire. You would fuck that robot. You know what I mean? But this guy is just kind of just unattractive. I'd like to make him a little more Whitney Cummings sex robot-esque, you know what I mean?
Or artificial
but
intelligence,
even Invincible, exactly. I'm not a huge fan of yellow and orange, just personally.
I'm not either.
When somebody's whole, when it's like those two colors, just I don't like them. I don't know.
Me
but
too.
somebody's whole like costume is yellow.
You realize you're from Florida, right? That's like the biggest.
Yeah, it's true. You're not allowed to dislike the color orange here. I don't know. I do agree with you, though. Some of the looks of the characters can be kind of weird, like specifically for me, the color choices. But I don't mind that they're animated, and I don't mind that they're sort of over the top.
Yeah, and I look
booky.
past it. I don't. It's not enough of a negative for me to not want to watch the show. Like the writing is so well done. The comedy is put in perfectly.
I think they kind of did that. Well, they definitely did this on purpose, but I don't know how much they were poking fun at themselves. I'm not going to say I'm glad that the characters are dead, the original Guardians of the Globe, but I will say the like off-brand Batman, off-brand Flash, and off-brand Wonder Woman was pretty dumb.
Red Rush.
That was a little over the top.
And I mean, when you look at it,
Darkwing,
I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be like the Justice League, you know. Like,
ooh, I guess they were,
because you
I guess
have
they were.
Martian
and
Man.
Aquaman was just the little fish.
yeah, like each
Okay,
of them was
okay, so
like
you're right.
was a
You're
copy of one of the Justice League.
You're absolutely right. Okay, fair enough. So they totally were
He was
calling
just a
themselves
fish.
out on
Yeah.
that. He was just a
Martian
little fish
Man,
dude,
you know,
like-
Martian Manhunter. Like,
Yes,
and you're right,
yes.
Darkwing and War Woman.
Yes, absolutely a play on the Justice League, and I hadn't made that correlation that it was
Yeah.
like the same characters. But
And
you're
again,
absolutely
this
right.
feels more like DC stuff than it does Marvel stuff. There's something about it. To
Yeah.
me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know if
think
it's the color
plethora
choices
of-
or I don't know.
I think it's just how kind of zany the band
The
of
spandex
characters
underwear,
is.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. That is very DC-esque. I do think it's just kind of how zany everybody is. Everybody's kind of out there, a little tacky, a little bit
Yeah.
wild in their powers.
I don't know. For me, DC just felt very like America, like everything about it. I shouldn't say that though, because Captain America.
True.
But I don't know. I guess I'm just
Yeah, but he's kind of it. He's kind of it. You know what I mean? Everything else is like defending the world, and I feel like this is a little more like defending the country and the FBI,
Yeah.
Cecil, and everybody. Yeah, I get that. I get that. So just so you guys know, moving forward, we're gonna start putting these reviews out every week and doing a like per episode
Just
review.
like we do
So
with, Falcon
this
and
wasn't
Winter Soldier.
necessarily like, yeah, it wasn't exactly talking about one episode in particular. This was just sort of talking about the show overall so far. But like for episode 6, we're obviously just gonna review that episode and dive a little more into the plot. But let's actually talk about the plot a little bit before we kind of just say basically, yeah, we love this show, and then we move on. Dude, so we do not know why Omni-Man
I have theories.
killed the original. What do you think? What do you think is kind of behind
I
this?
think he's lying about the purpose of the Viltrumites. I think he told his son what he wanted him to hear. That like, oh, we protect the worlds, but I think they're conquerors.
But it just seems like he could just conquer it. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Maybe he wanted a kid first. Maybe that Mark has to have something to do with it. He came to Earth to find a mate, a suitable mate, and then he had Mark, and he can't conquer Earth until maybe his heir conquers it or something like that.
I also feel like he
there's
started
something-
acting differently when Mark started to develop powers. Like he suddenly started acting differently.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
show got a little eerie for sure. He
Yeah.
got more touchy. You know, he was more easily. What's the word for that when somebody's like really easily
Asshole.
like pissed off? Yeah, so sociopathic superhero asshole. Yeah, he just got a little more grouchy.
Yeah.
A couple things that he did, I do have a little bit of a problem with. The fact that their mom, and I don't remember her name, the mom.
Is
in
it
this,
Maria?
But the fact that
Why do I want to say Maria?
I think it is Maria. The fact that Debbie. I don't know where we got Maria. Debbie. The fact that I think
The
it's
Asian
Maria?
woman? Yeah, she has a Hispanic name.
Debbie. Okay, when Debbie starts kind of snooping around because she knows something's up, when she found his costume that he was wearing when he killed the original Guardians and it was covered in blood, dude, he just like hid it in a little crawl space in their house. Why would he not like fly that to Mars or something? Like, why would he not just fly that into the
He's
sun?
arrogant.
I guess.
He believes himself to be unstoppable.
Right, like he believes that somebody's kind of watching him, and he knows that Dark Blood is snooping around.
Yeah.
You'd think he would take that evidence, like the only evidence, and go blast it into the sun. Or
I mean,
something.
I guess it's hard because he can literally be anywhere within minutes. As far
Right.
as he sees, like there's no issue hiding anything anywhere because he'll just show up and take care of it. So I don't know.
True. Yeah. Okay. I'm on board with what you're saying. I think that obviously there's something more to the Viltrumite. I don't think it's just him. I think it's a Viltrumite in total kind of thing. Like something about their race they try to conquer. I don't know, dude. I will say though, if we want to just jump into kind of the end, I was not expecting Mark to basically be almost killed by this battle beast.
Like,
I mean, that
whatever
battle beast
that
was
thing
intense.
was, the lion
I think that was
thing?
his name.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Battle Beast. I think on the closed captioning it called him out as that. That thing is fucking tough.
And he just
That thing
disappeared.
is seriously tough. It just
He
disappeared.
was like,
into,
"All right, this
a
isn't
portal.
worth it." And he just dipped.
Yeah, that was like messed up, dude. When the new Guardians started
Yeah.
kind of getting killed, it's like, dude, this is different.
Yeah,
Something's not right.
That's
here.
right.
This doesn't
What is
feel
her
right.
name? The girl, Beast Woman.
Eve Adams.
No. The one who turns into the monster.
Oh, Monster Girl.
Yeah, Monster Girl. Yeah, she's dead or close to death.
So she was cursed, and we don't know how, but she was basically cursed, and so every time she turns into a monster, her human form gets younger. So she's got this weird curse where like she can only use her powers a certain amount of times because she'll keep getting younger.
But didn't she get like
until eventually
messed up in this battle? Like I thought she died.
I don't know if she's dead. That's right, because she gets like really fucked up as the monster, but then she comes back to being the girl, and I don't know. If
I know
she's
that
dead.
her. Who else? Like a lot of them got either killed or. Like.
Yeah, it's definitely not. So let me go into the list of heroes really quick, and we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, Black Samson, I believe, is dead, like dead. But I don't know that anybody else is actually dead. We'll see.
What was he doing there? Like, he has no powers, right? Like, his powers got taken away or something? Like,
yeah,
what purpose?
That's what I guess. That's what Rex keeps dogging him about, is that he doesn't actually have any powers.
I have
he's
a feeling that he's not
soldier.
dead and that he actually has powers and he just doesn't use them. And that's why he's constantly telling him, like, do you really want to, like, go there kind of a thing? I don't know. Unfortunately,
I think the other side of the coin with having so many characters is that a lot of these people are kind of disposable. So I do think that he's dead, unfortunately, and I liked his character a lot. I don't know that Monster Girl is dead. I don't know if they were trying to make us think they were making us think she might be dead, but I don't know if she was actually like officially dead yet. We'll see about that one. Obviously, Mark is in critical condition.
So is his relationship.
Yeah, that I do love this plot. It does make it feel kind of Spider-Man-esque with him and Amber, but then Eve is sort of the weird love triangle thing that's going on.
I love when he gave her the Mars rock and he's like, just don't show it to any geologists. They might tell you some weird things.
Just don't show it to any geologists or anyone that knows anything about rocks. They might tell you some weird stuff. There is a lot of really good, intelligent humor in this.
Yeah.
There really is. Like when he goes to Mars with them and he opens up his sandwich and it's just frozen solid from being in space. He's like, pack a lunch my ass. It's an intelligent show. It's a good, refreshing superhero content that has an intelligent spin to it. I love it.
Also, there's the other plot that there's like shit going down on Mars too.
Yes, with these shoot, what were those called? He's like, you avoided the Soleoid or something like that. What the heck were those things called? But yes, so one of those took over one of the astronauts and is now coming back to Earth.
Right, and then on top of that, also, Robot is doing some weird shit.
Yes, he's sort of a double agent too. I think he's trying to either create a body for himself.
Yeah, I think so.
Or because he's got the Mauler twins, which is another crazy complex character. The Mauler twins, he's got them helping him clone. Every character in this, you're interested in their backstory. Yeah. There's not a real character in this show that doesn't have a legitimately interesting story surrounding them.
It's cool. I'm very, very excited to see what the next episode and the next season and all that holds, because it's a very well done show.
Wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Get me to Friday. All right, guys. This one was a little longer because, of course, we're jumping in with 5 episodes. The weekly ones will be a little bit shorter, just a fun review for us to check in every week and talk about Invincible. We love it. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you're just listening, hop on over to our Instagram or our YouTube. We could always appreciate another subscriber. The channel's small but growing. Let us know what you guys think of Invincible. What's going to happen coming up? What characters do you think are going to change or not change? Who's alive? We love it. All right, Chris, you got anything else for the first 5 episodes of Invincible?
I was trying to work in the title again and I couldn't. Yeah, I feel...
All right, guys. Episodes 1 through 5 of Invincible. This is our review. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll see you next week with another one. Peace.